Welcome to the final episode of Deciphering Zodiac, a Chronicle of Terror, a series where we explore the infamous Zodiac case, one of the most notorious and unsolved mysteries in American history. Before we get into today's episode, I want to remind you of a few things. Disclaimer: the following content contains graphic descriptions of criminal activities. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of myself, Tammy D, the creator. I do not endorse or condone any of the actions or behaviours depicted in the true stories. The purpose of this podcast is to educate and entertain, not to glorify or sensationalise crime. Thank you for listening to the disclaimer. Now let's dive into the final episode of this podcast series. I hope you enjoy it. In this series, we have covered the following topic: the Zodiac Killer's origins and motives, and how he terrorized Northern California in the late 60s and early 70s with his brutal murders and taunting letters. The Zodiac Killer's victims, both confirmed and suspected, and how their lives were tragically cut short by his senseless violence. We paid tribute to David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Michael Mageau, Cecilia Shepard, Brian Hartnell, Paul Stein, and others who may have crossed paths with the Zodiac. The Zodiac Killer's crime scenes and investigations, and how he left behind clues, evidence, and puzzles for the police and the public to decipher. We analysed the Lake Herman Road murders, the Blue Rock Springs attack, the Lake Berryessa attack, and the Presidio Heights murder, and the challenges and frustrations faced by the investigators. The Zodiac Killer's letters and ciphers, and how he communicated with the media and the authorities, claiming responsibility for his crimes and threatening more. We decoded the Zodiac's complex and mysterious codes, one of which was only solved recently. We also discussed the later letters, such as the controversial Exorcist letter, and how they influenced popular culture, inspiring copycat killers and false confessors. The Zodiac Killer's identity and theories, and how modern forensics and technology have been applied to the case, including DNA testing. We reviewed the most popular and plausible suspects and theories, and the evidence for and against them. The Zodiac Killer case remains a fascinating and frustrating puzzle, a story of a killer who escaped justice, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and horror. The case has become a part of American folklore. A chilling reminder of the evil that lurks in the shadows, but also a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice. As we wrap up this series, we hope for a final resolution. With the advances in technology and forensics, the Zodiac Killer's identity may still be revealed. Until then, the hunt for the Zodiac goes on, keeping alive the memories of the victims and the hope for justice. As we look to the future, we are optimistic. With each passing year, new developments and discoveries bring us closer to solving the Zodiac puzzle. Each breakthrough, no matter how small, is a step forward in our quest for truth and justice. In conclusion, Deciphering Zodiac, a Chronicle of Terror, is more than just a retelling of the Zodiac Killer's crimes. It's a homage to the victims, a snapshot of an era, and a tribute to our unending search for truth. As we say goodbye, we urge you, our listeners, to remember the lives lost, to stay alert, and to never give up hope. Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of history and crime. Stay safe, everyone. What did you think of the series on the Zodiac Killer? Did you learn something new? Or did you have a different perspective on the case? Did you enjoy our analysis and commentary, or did you disagree with some of our points? Did you have any questions or suggestions for us, or did you want to share your own theories or opinions on the case? I would love to hear your feedback and thoughts on our series. You can leave us a comment below. We appreciate your engagement and interaction with us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Before I sign off, I want to give you a sneak peek of our next series, which I am very excited about. The next series will explore another fascinating and mysterious case, one that has also captivated the public for decades. It's a case that involves espionage, intrigue, and mystery. It's a case that has remained unsolved for nearly 50 years, a woman with no name, no identity, and no trace. It's a case that involved multiple disguises, coded messages, and mysterious travels. It's a case that sparked rumours of spies, secrets, and assassins. Can you guess what it is? It's the case of a woman who was found dead in a remote location with no clues to her identity or cause of death. Her case has baffled investigators and intrigued the public for decades, and it remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in the world. In our next series, we will dive into this case and try to unravel the mystery of who she was, what she was doing, and how she died. Stay tuned for this thrilling and captivating series coming soon to the History and Crime channel. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the dark and twisted world of the Zodiac Killer, one of the most notorious and elusive serial killers in history. In this series, we have explored the Zodiac's crimes, letters, ciphers, suspects, and theories, and tried to shed some light on this enduring mystery. We have also paid tribute to the victims, whose lives were cut short by the Zodiac's violence, and whose families and friends still seek closure and justice. This series has been a challenging and rewarding experience for me, and I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have. I want to thank you for your support, engagement, and feedback throughout this series. You have been an amazing audience, and I appreciate your interest and curiosity in the Zodiac case. I also want to thank the experts, investigators, and researchers who have contributed to the Zodiac case over the years, and who have shared their insights and findings with us. As we conclude this series, we are left with more questions than answers. Who was the Zodiac Killer? Why did he kill? Why did he stop? Will he ever be caught? These are the questions that haunt us and that keep us hooked on this case. The Zodiac Killer case is a puzzle that remains unsolved, a story that remains unfinished, and a mystery that remains unsolved. But we are not giving up. We are still hopeful that one day the Zodiac Killer will be identified and brought to justice. With the advances in technology and forensics, that day may be closer than we think. Until then, we will continue to search for clues, to decode the ciphers, and to follow the leads. We will not let the Zodiac Killer get away with his crime. We will not let him win. This is Tammy D signing off from the History and Crime channel. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more fascinating and mysterious cases in the future. Stay safe, everyone.